It's a very similar design to the console table, so we can use parts of the geometry here for it. So we just select our console table and unisolate our objects. So if we go to our top viewport, we'll just create a box just over here. And the dimensions will make around 400 by 380 by about 80. So we'll just drag that over here. So go to your front viewport. I'm just going to pull this up to around just at the top of the legs here of the console table. And just pull it back over. If you select the console table and the box we created and isolate these, we're going to just do a similar idea of what we've done here to the tabletop here. So we'll just create an edit poly on this box. We select our edges, select all the edges on the box, and we'll just apply a chamfer. 1mm will be about fine. If we now select polygon, select the stop face again, similar to the console table, we'll shift and drag this on the Z axis, and we'll clone to object and call this glass. Deselect the edit poly. So if you select your glass object, we will center our pivot, and we'll apply a shell modifier. Just around about 5mm, the same as the glass top over on the console table. So if we apply an edit poly on top of this, we'll just select all the edges and we'll chamfer them to about 0.5mm and again about 10 segments. So you can see still a bit facey, so we'll just select our object and apply a normal smooth modifier. If you just tick auto smooth again, so if we go to our front viewport, we'll just drag this down to the top of the side table, like so. So what we're going to do now is use the legs we created here and just drag them over and we'll edit them to fit our side table. So if we just select the legs, and shift and drag these and just make them a copy. We don't want the legs on the console table to change if we edit these ones, so ensure you've selected copy. I'm just going to detach them from this group and we'll just pull them over into position like so. If we go back to our original edit poly on this stack, we can just pull these over like so. And just pull these back anywhere roughly around the centre of our box. If you go to your front viewport, we'll just pull them down at a different height. So if you deselect your edit poly and select your symmetry, you can see it's still over here. So if you just activate your symmetry by selecting it, and we'll just drag this back over. You can see we've got a slight gap here, so if you go to your edit poly, we'll select vertex, and if you switch on your toggle show end result, and we'll show cage in your edit poly settings, we can just select these vertices and you can see these parts joined together, like so. We'll just deselect our edit poly, and now our legs fit. We also want to use the feet, so if we just shift and drag this to make a copy, and again detach from the group. Just going to position these now. Shift and drag. We can make this one an instance. and shift and drag these on the y-axis, like so. And we'll just apply a different material to the glass top so we can tell the difference between the objects. So if you select all these objects, and we'll just go to group, we'll group these together as side table. And I'm just going to close the group of the console table, like so. So now we have just created our side table. It was the same design as the console table, very easy to steal parts. Just ensure when you're copying parts from one object to another, you make them a copy and not an instance if they're going to change in size. Because if you make them an instance and you start, like for example, editing these legs, we don't want these legs to start changing. So ensure they're copied over instead of instanced.